everyone. I hope you're having a good week. I wanted to create a video to help you with a few things this week. I want to remind you that in this Module 1 folder, you will find the practice tests that are due this Sunday, January 24th. They both take you to Achieve, so you'll need to make sure you've purchased your Achieve before you have access to them. Whatever grade you get on these practice tests, I will go into the grade book and change it to a 100 because this practice test is just to see where your skills are right now, and it will determine a study plan for you in grammar and in punctuation, style, and mechanics that you will work on the entire semester. This week we're also getting into Module 2. And the focus of Module 2 is the essay. And central to writing an essay is creating a thesis statement, writing good topic sentences, and then writing good supporting details. An essay is a group of paragraphs that when you put them together, they support some main idea you're trying to make. So let me take you through this folder. So we do have a graded practice essay, but not this week. In fact, just as a reminder, if you go to our course schedule, you'll see that the practice essay is not due until January 31st. So what you're working on this week is just preparing you for that practice essay because that's a graded assignment. And just a reminder, these are your graded assignments this semester. So there is a lot of material that is in Blackboard to teach you and to give you practice, and not everything's graded. So if you ever are unsure about whether something's graded or not, just refer to your course schedule, or you can refer also to your syllabus. But going back to the coursework and the Module 2 folder, I suggested this week that you go into the thesis statements, topic sentences, supporting details folder and begin learning about these topics. Here's a link for what a thesis statement is and what a topic sentence is, and you should go through that. Here's an activity to see if you understand the concept of what a prompt is. And a prompt is a writing assignment or a writing topic that tells you what specifically you're supposed to be writing. So when we do our graded practice essay, I will give you a prompt that will tell you specifically what you're supposed to address, what you're supposed to write about. And your thesis that you create within your essay should directly relate to the prompt. And then your topic sentences within your essay should directly relate to your thesis statement, which is, it should appear in your introductory paragraph. We're just going to keep it very simple for this class. There's no rule or law that says the thesis statement has to come in the introductory paragraph. But in this class, just because we're trying to keep this very simple and teach you the basics of essay writing, we're going to make sure that our thesis statement is in our introductory paragraph, which is our first paragraph. We're going to make it be the last sentence of our introductory paragraph. And in just a moment, I will show you an example of a thesis statement in an actual essay. So let me get out of this activity so I can kind of explain some other concepts about prompt and thesis and topic sentences and supporting details through a different activity. So here is the link for the practice essay. And as you know, we're not doing this graded practice essay yet. This is the assignment, graded practice essay, and you see it here. This is the prompt. Remember, I said a prompt was the essay assignment, what you're going to write about. So next week, we are going to actually do this graded practice essay prompt. And the article for the graded practice essay is here, because you'll see from the prompt, it tells you that you're basing, it says based on the article, All Work and No Play, Why Your Kids Are More Depressed, Anxious by Esther Entin. Describe how playtime has changed for children over the past few decades. How does Entin believe these changes negatively affect children's emotional development? So everything you put in that essay next week, again, this is not this week's assignment. I'm just trying to explain to you the concept of what a prompt is. A prompt is a writing assignment. And this prompt clearly says that you'll write about how playtime has changed for children and whether these changes or how these changes negatively affect children's emotional development. And it's right here in the prompt. But when you write this essay next week, you're not going to write it out of your own experience. There's nothing in the prompt that says to use your own experiences. There's nothing in the prompt that says to do research. The prompt says based on the article, All Work, No Play. So right here is the article, the link for that article. So you'll write that essay. But this week I've created a practice for the practice essay, and it's right here. It's in this folder that says Example Article Prompt Essay. When I click on this folder, it'll take us to an article, and you scroll down, and then an actual prompt. And again, this is a practice for the graded practice. So here is a sample prompt, and here are instructions on how it says write a fully developed essay based on the prompt at the bottom of this page. It gives the instructions of what you're supposed to include in your essay. And then here is the actual essay prompt. According to the article, Oprah Would Make an Exceptional President by Sally Kohn, Kohn believes Oprah would be a great choice for our next president. Do you agree or disagree with her reasons for believing this? And of course, the reasons are given in the article. So again, you're basing everything off the article. Use the article to support your argument. So again, a prompt is an essay task, an essay assignment. It's what you're going to write about. And this is an essay prompt. And this often is, this will be something you would maybe get in a history class, psychology class, sociology class, where maybe the test includes some essay questions. So here is a sample prompt. Right here is an actual practice essay, and it shows a thesis statement in the introduction, just like we talked about. It shows a topic sentence at the beginning of each paragraph, like we talked about, and it shows supporting details. And again, in this case, the supporting details come from the article because the prompt said to base everything off the article. We always do what the prompt says to do. So this week, what I am suggesting that you do is that you practice writing an essay using this scenario. You read this article, you look at this prompt, and you type up an essay. And either before or after you do, you can look at this sample to help you. Here is an example of a finished essay from that same prompt. Notice it's in MLA format, and what that means is the student's name would go right here, my name here, the class, so your English 111, and then whatever section number you're in. I have 5 different sections. So you're either I09, I34, I01L, DWY02. So you look up your section number, the date. Notice that there's a title. You do need to title all of your essays in this class. And the title, it doesn't get underlined, it doesn't get quotation marks, it doesn't get all caps. And the title cannot be the same as the title of the article. So this is just an original title that the person writing the paper created. And you notice it's not a super long essay. I usually will give you a page length for some of the essays we do later. We'll have more time to do them. This is the type of writing we're working on just a really simple essay, something you would maybe do an essay exam or just an essay, answering an essay question. And this is what you're going to have to do for that graded timed essay assignment as well. So we're kind of working up towards that. So this week we're doing a practice of the practice essay. Next week you're going to do the graded practice essay. And then after that we're going to do a graded timed essay. And they're all going to be the same style of essay where you're given a prompt, you have an article to refer to, and you answer the prompt in the essay. So here I've highlighted the actual thesis statement. And the thesis statement this student uses says, I believe Oprah would make an exceptional president due to her ability to connect with others, civic and business experience, and her unparalleled perseverance. So it's really important that we go back to the prompt, because the prompt says, according to the article, Oprah would make an exceptional president. Do you agree or disagree? And this thesis clearly addresses the prompt. It says, I believe Oprah would make an exceptional. Your thesis may be you believe she would not. You believe she'd be okay. So you need to create your thesis that matches up to the prompt. Each of these highlighted sentences at the beginning of each paragraph after this introductory paragraph, those are our topic sentences. That means that they create the topic for this paragraph right here. And again, these topic sentences, these first sentences of each paragraph, need to relate back to the thesis statement, which needs to relate back to the prompt. So there is a complete connection between the prompt, what you're supposed to write about, the thesis, where you state pretty much your position, and then each paragraph starts with a sentence that further in depth explains your position. So this person's position is, I believe Oprah would make an exceptional president, and it even previewed the reasons. You don't have to do that, but you can. The first body paragraph, which is what we call this second paragraph of the essay, because the first paragraph is called the introduction. This first body paragraph starts off with, Oprah has a talent for connecting with others, which she has exemplified over the past few decades. So what we expect to find in this paragraph is evidence that she has a talent for connecting with others. It needs to be something that was said in the article, because the prompt tells us to use what's in the article. I will make a suggestion here. This topic sentence could have even been better, and it could have been tighter, and it could have been more related to the thesis and the prompt if it would have mentioned the idea that she would make an exceptional president. So it gives the reason. It says she has a talent for connecting with others. But in an essay, you want to be really, really specific throughout, and you want to consistently and constantly refer back to what your main point is. And your main point, your thesis here, is that Oprah would make an exceptional president. So another way that this paragraph could have started is with something along the lines of, one reason Oprah would make an exceptional president is because she has a talent for connecting with others. So I think this topic sentence would be stronger. It would be stronger if it led in with something related to her making an exceptional president. So while this is a decent topic sentence because it introduces the idea of her having a talent for connecting with others, and then it gives examples of it, because these are the supporting details, or the details that prove this topic sentence. That's good, but the topic sentence could be tighter. And then you can always develop paragraphs more by having more examples. So instead of just explaining maybe one talent that she has, or one example of her talent for connecting with others, you could have multiple examples of that. Here's our next body paragraph. On top of her exceptional social skills, Oprah also has experience in civic business operations. Again, this is a good topic sentence because you'll see that now here are the supporting details about how Oprah has experience in civic and business operations. Those are our supporting details throughout. And this is our topic sentence. But the topic sentence could be more tightly related back to the thesis statement and the prompt, which is, do you agree that she would be an exceptional choice for president? So every topic sentence, in order to relate back to the thesis statement and the prompt, should probably be mentioning whether or not she'd make a good president. And while you may be inclined to think that seems very repetitious, essay writing is a very specific type of academic writing. It is meant to be very clear, not repetitive in a boring way. You want to maybe word it differently each time. But this is not creative writing as far as we're not writing poems, and we're not writing songs or plays or anything like that. We're writing essays and we're addressing specific prompts. So we want to be really clear for anyone reading our essay that what we say we're going to talk about here, and notice that there's no wording that says, in this essay I'm going to talk about. It doesn't say that because that is not correct. So you don't want to use that wording. Instead, it says, I believe Oprah would make an exceptional president. It just states it. But then throughout these topic sentences, we need to reinforce this idea she would make an exceptional president. And that's what's kind of left out of these topic sentences here. So that would be something I'd want to point out to make your topic sentences tighter. But this is a structure right here. This is an example of an essay that demonstrates for you the concepts that we are focusing on in this module, Module 2, and that is thesis statements, which come at the end of an introductory paragraph, topic sentences, which are the first sentence of each paragraph, and then our supporting details, which is what comes within a paragraph that supports the topic sentence, which also is support ultimately for the thesis statement. So going back to this module, try your hand at reading this essay, this article, looking at the prompt and trying to write your own practice for your practice essay. I hope this has been helpful. Please always reach out, and I will be posting another video not in the not too distant future.